Interestingly, the New Straits Times last week, I think, put out a feature story about young girls, students, being lured into work as GROs and eventually ended up as, ladies of the night. I think they should be concentrating on this.
Sure.
I'm always saying that they're 1,500 strong. They can reach out to a lot of people, wayward girls, in schools. Huh? What do you advise them with that, since you were in the position?
Sure. I think the nature or the culture of the university right now is very much segmentized, compartmentalized. With our school in existence, it really blocks any sort of critical thinking that's needed. Of course, you can't blame everything on our school. I mean, I am rational in that sense, but it really describes just how segmented our society is, even in universities. They can't reach out. You see, politically aware students are very small in number across the universities in Malaysia. And they, to a certain extent, they haven't been that politically inclined as well.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to say is, it unearthed the real problem within societies, within the universities, how they approach one another, because only by, let's say, exposure do you understand. Do you feel that you empathize with the social ills? I mean, you can't look at them condescendingly. I mean, people who are being GROs, prostitutes, you can't be condescending. You don't know the life that they're leading, the poverty that they're trapped in. So that's why I think it goes back to the underlying problems in Malaysia today.
Do you see a lot of these problems even in your constituency, Bangsa?
Of course.
How bad is it? Have you an idea?
I mean, I think especially in Pantai, the Pantai zone is quite prevalent, and the different low-cost flats, they don't have any room. I always call it the small boxes where they stay in. So instead of living in a home, you're trapped, and you have all this energy inside. As a young person, as a youth, you don't know where to go, you don't know where to release it. So, I mean, of course I would like people to also earn a living, in the sense not being given free freebies. But we really have to think about how do we plan our future in terms of Kuala Lumpur as well, in terms of the development of the country. I mean, now you talk about the KL, the drafting of the local plan.
Right.
Nobody cares about having adequate green lung. Nobody cares about having enough space for a playground for your children to run and roam. I mean, this is the problem. And if they do have a playground, then you worry about their safety. So this goes back to trying to find solutions.
Let's now turn to students' involvement in active politics. What's your opinion on that? Should students be involved in active politics?
Since the voting age begins from 21 years old above, I mean, certainly you want them to start thinking in a proactive manner, in a critical manner, on how to govern the country, on the issues that affect the country, on how to improve the current implementation of laws in the country. So yes, of course.
In your school life, your life in the university, do you think that some of your people in the university were ill-advised about politics? They are not really aware yet before they plunge into demonstrations or things like that. You see kids demonstrating. I don't think they know what they're doing. Should they be involved?
See, again, this question reflects the overall condescending attitude of the older generation towards us young people.
Serious?
Yes.
I don't like street demonstration. You like it?
Look, you have to appreciate that these are avenues that young people find, at least to fight for a cause they believe in. You should be proud the fact that they can stand up. And of course, you should allow them the space to add their views, their concerns. Only then you really create a generation capable of thinking other people's welfare, of pursuing a higher cause. I mean, it is really necessary, honestly.
Is that the best way to get a message across to the government?
There are different ways, certainly. You know, there are also, but the problem is, with the existence of AUKU, you actually need to write to the head of student welfare department. I mean, everything goes basically asking for permission. So that's why they feel they have no other avenue left. If there were allowances made to write to the media, to speak to politicians, to invite politicians to come, just to have a dialogue, I'm sure you will lessen the number of demonstrations. Honestly. Who wants to be sprayed by tear gas? I don't.
But I tell you, I just love the traffic jams when I got to come down to work.
Okay, well.
Okay, I'll now touch on a touchy issue. Among other things, your daddy has been allegedly charged for, you know, sodomy or homosexual activities. Do you honestly know anything about your father's sexual preference?
I would not go all out, cross countries, across the sea, do my best in my entire family defending his release, defending his innocence if I was not convinced that he was innocent, a victim of a political conspiracy. That goes beyond, I mean, my principles. I mean, you have to first believe in his innocence. You have to first be sure, the entire family, before you stand up and fight for him. That's a prerequisite.
You are your father's daughter. You advise me on something. Do you think it's okay if I ask your father
Go ahead.
that question?
Go ahead.
Huh? Okay, I'll ask him next time, saying that I have been given permission from the daughter. Now, how about your previous relationship? There have been talk about you having a relationship with the famous KJ. Is KJ handsome or not? Huh?
Completely not my type.
Is Brad Pitt handsome?
Yes.
That's what I want to hear. I think thanks a lot for your time.
Okay,
we
thank
have
you for having me.
about 20 minutes.
Yeah. This is the most fun interview.
Thanks
Congratulations.
a lot. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So before I go, remember what Nurul said for the students? Go to school first, finish your education before you take up politics.
I would
Till
say,
next time.
I didn't say that at all. This is
Try not to censor too much of it.
Okay.
That's why it's called uncensored.
How you people?
What boring? What boring?
Rehashing the same question.
No, what boring? You have something new to say.
Original. Huh? What the?
Okay.
Why don't you ask him that question? The asking is awkward. Yeah.
Okay.
No. Of course I will answer that question.
You answer.